All right, we're back on Jay's Jeep project. This is part 2. What are you doing over here, Jay? Wishing you never started this project?
With your help, anything's possible.
So if you guys not seen, there's a previous video of us fitting this Jeep body on Jay's basket case of a Jeep project he dragged on one day. So what we're going to do in this video, it's going to be kind of paint and body. I'm going to show you a few things on these things. Jay's actually scuffing his tailgate. It was perfectly dent-free and everything from shipping. That's amazing, from the Philippines. You guys need any of these body parts or anything, contact Scott. Email's down in the description. Give us a shout. We've got everything from 41 to 86, but I'm going to show you a little bit what goes into prep on these things. I know Scott gets a lot of questions on these dudes, so you got to remember when these Jeeps were built, what, 75 years ago?
Yep.
People wasn't worried about bodies, and they were worried about getting home from World War II and getting their house up. Things wasn't quite as smooth as they are today, but these are built just like they was back in the day. You guys might be able to see in the camera, we've got spot welds on the sides here. You guys can see in that light. So the original ones had a lot of those spot welds in there. We'll probably go through and smooth the sides down. You kind of see on the hood here, I've already got some going on here. These are all the spot welds. I actually ground those down a little bit, put a little body fill over, so we're gonna have a nice smooth surface. Now the original ones would have had those showing, so same thing here. We got a little skim coat. There's a little lip there. Factory hood had that same little lip. We're trying to make it look halfway decent. Doesn't have to be done. Same way with the windshield. The fenders need a little minimal work around the edges where they've been stamped. Again, this stuff was in here originally, so making it a little bit smoother. What do you got going on over here, bud? Painting the fenders blue? No. So where they get stamped out here, we're smoothing those up a little bit, take some of the creases and stuff out, but overall the stuff's pretty straight. So we'll what we've been doing now, Scott, aren't these bodies acid or they're dipped in a tank? I know after they make them.
Yeah, it's kind of just a primer to keep it from rusting until it hits the end users.
Yeah, I do know this primer is really thick on there and it sands really well and it seems to hold up well. But they do dip these bodies to get them clean before they paint them, so that makes a big difference over the earlier versions they used to do back in the day. So, but what we're doing, we're going over everything with 80 grit on a DA, sanding it all down. Then we'll knock all the high spots and stuff down. Might come in with a grinder and hit some of these spot welds and knock the high spot off with the metal showing. We'll probably skim coat over those kind of like we did in that hood, but make sure we get all the sides nice and straight. So I think Jay's going with the darker green color, so we'll get all the body work done plastic wise. Then we'll shoot probably 2 or 3 coats of high build primer on it, and then we'll block it out. All right, Kevin's getting these fenders looking good. I about got the hood and the windshield done. I've DA'd over this body real quick. You guys can kind of see some of the spot weld marks showing up. So just did kind of a flat with the DA with 80 grit. So I'm going to take his spot sander. And I'm trying to hit those hide nubs on those spot welds because they're sticking up just a little bit. And then we can put filler over and smooth everything up. But you guys can see where all the spot welds are there. We're gonna get all those smoothed up, make it look all nice and pretty. Jay's in there Scotch-Brite inside the tub, so the paint and primer will stick to it. So that's how we're getting there. Alright, you guys seen we've been doing a lot of sanding, ain't we? We're all dusty. Jay's dusty. So,
This isn't my department over here.
it is today and tomorrow and the next day. So we got everything sanded. We're doing the finishing touches. You guys see we got a lot of plastic down there. It's not thick, it's just coated. Make it all nice and smooth. What do you think? This is Kevin's side. I gave him the hard side of the gas tank hole.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So Jay's been Scotch-Brighting everything inside and out, drilling all the holes out where we filled them up. It's got everything Scotch-Brighted, ready for primer inside the tub. We got how many hours did I say? All three of us?
15.
We got around 15 hours up to this point doing body work, so we probably got another 30 minutes or so cleaning up. I'm going to spray high build primer out tonight, probably about 3 coats of that. So that's going to put us around 16 hours ish. A lot of people always ask and call Scott up how long it takes to do one of these. Now keep in mind you wouldn't have to do them, make them look this pretty, so but this gives you guys a ballpark idea. Like I said, we're about 16 hours at this point, so it's coming along for sure. Hey bub, you're in the picture. Alright, you guys can see you got everything primered late last night. Looking good. So we sprayed a DTM high build hybrid epoxy on it. You guys can see it's orange peely. It's kind of like a sprayable body filler, but it's going to allow us to block out these panels flat. So the first thing we'll do, we'll bring some 150 grit on some sanding boards, and we're going to block this all out by hand. So basically we're going to go in the X pattern, kind of go across there like that. That's going to bring out all the high spots and low spots. Some people like to do this with a machine, but I find it's better to do it by hand. So you guys can kind of see there, that's a low spot where it's not sanded yet. This primer is shiny, so it's kind of nice. You can see like this is kind of a low spot here, but those will all sand out in this primer. It's got a pretty thick coat on it, so we'll have to do that to everything, including the hood.
Don't worry, I just woke up.
Did you? Hey, I got primer sprayed on it. Just telling these fine people about all the fun we're gonna have. You got a bulldozer to paint though. Parts of it. So I'm gonna get to work blocking and sanding, and it's gonna be a great time. All right, we've been sanding feverishly, as you guys can see. So what we're doing here, I kind of showed you guys earlier. You can see we got some shiny spots here in the primer. We're hitting metal there, so we got to stop. We'll have to spray another coat of primer over that. How's the hood going here, bud?
Oh, that's beautiful.
You guys can kind of see we got a shiny spot right here. He's hitting metal here, so he stopped. We'll have to spray some more primer in those spots. We've not done this side here yet, but got the top of the cow done. It needs a little bit more primer in a spot or two. Tailgate's good, grill's good. Got a couple spots here in the fender, so as soon as you hit metal, you got to stop, don't you? But you can't sand metal. You can keep sanding primer around that metal. What happens if you get a high spot right here with metal? You keep sanding it, you think, oh, you know, you can't sand the metal down. What you'll do, you'll sand the soft stuff around it, and you got to start all back over again. So we're going to keep on blocking. Probably spray another coat of primer on it at lunch, and we'll bake it and let it dry. Then hopefully, I think we'll be getting pretty close, won't we? We might paint it tomorrow, so we'll be back. All right, got everything primered, blocked out. We had to primer it 2 times. Got everything looking nice and slick. What do you think, bud?
She's kind of big golden.
Brand new, ain't it?
Not my Jeep.
So the guys are over here hosing out the paint booth. We're going to take this into there, and then we will wax and grease remover. We're going to hang up a couple parts, and then get ready for paint. All right, guys, got everything cleaned up in here. Kevin's doing the final wipe down with a little wax and grease remover. Got the body sitting over here and the fenders and all that good stuff. Hanging and ready to go, isn't it, bud?
That's right.
Gonna be green here shortly. Alright, so she is definitely green now. Jay picked out this pretty cool color. Got the fenders all painted here, looking slick. Turned out really well. This is just a single stage urethane paint. Got the hood here. That laid down really nice. Windshield and tailgate and all that good stuff over here. So he's happy with it, I'm happy with it. So you guys can see I got the body looking pretty straight. Spent a lot of time making that look right. Now, like I say, we didn't have to do that. You can see there's no more spot weld marks. It's all nice and flat. But yeah, it looks good. I'll show you the kind of paint we're using. So there's the paint we're using. It's PPG's shop line. That's his paint code somewhere there. There it is. Here's the paint he was using. Our spray, like I say, it's a single stage urethane. The primer we used was a PPG DTM. See if I can find it here. There's a primer we used. It's a DTM VP 2050, and it has a catalyst, VH 7050 goes with it, but it's a hybrid epoxy primer. But hopefully you guys kind of like this little series. Jay's over here sanding some black parts now. Got seat frames, wheels. We're gonna shoot all those black. So what do you think?
Turned out excellent.
You like your green
awesome
paint?
Job. I do. I'm ready.
So I'm trying to figure out how much more time we had in it. We said we had 16 hours the first go around. We had about that much a second. Figured me and Kevin.
Yesterday.
We had about 14 hours, both of us. And so yeah, about 32 to 40 hours, depends on your body shop, if you want something looking pretty straight. Now if you're just doing a military restoration or something like that, a guy could probably literally shoot and paint that in probably 10 or 12 hours pretty easy. So body wise, just depends how slick you're looking for. So, but we're not going to bore you guys with all this stuff. If you like this little series, little video, you might give us a thumbs up. Helps us out a lot. So we're going to have one more video putting this thing together maybe.
Yeah, well, hopefully maybe next week we'll see.
Maybe. We're going to try to get some black parts painted today and let them dry over the weekend and go from there. So if you guys want to see it go together, you might consider subscribing. We'll see you guys next time.
See ya.